Welcome back, strangers. We're just in the car park here sorting out parking, and if you haven't already guessed, today we're going to be touring Perth Zoo. It's an easy flat walk of about 200 metres to bring you up to the entrance of the zoo from the car park.
Excited?
Yeah.
The Perth Zoo is open from 9 AM to 5 PM, and we paid the mini group, which is 2 adults and 2 children, all inclusive, for $95.60.
Can anybody tell which one's Joanna?
Don't forget to grab a map to help you navigate your way around the zoo. And straight after entering the zoo, you're greeted by this tranquil little creek with one of Western Australia's iconic black swans. And Joe looks happy to have spotted something in the trees here. Let's see what it is. Can't tell from here. I see, it's a monkey. It's a Javan gibbon. And these things, only 2% of their natural habitat now exists. So he's a lucky little fella to be here in the zoo.
That's an elephant over there.
Is there?
Yes, there's an elephant over there.
The skeleton is built to support an elephant's weight, but it is also well suited to their amazing mobility. Elephants stand on their hind feet, feeding on leaves or fruits and trees. Here at Perth Zoo, we hang browse and hay nets high above the elephants, so they have to use this skill to reach their food. Elephants do not drink through their trunk. However, when elephants drink, they will suck up the water in their trunk and then blow it into their mouth. There are many functions of their trunks, such as feeding, dusting, smelling, touching.
Perth Zoo have created a lovely little enclosure for the Sumatran orangutan. Perth Zoo also being the only zoo in the world breeding the orangutan and releasing it back into the wild. The problem being 80% of its natural habitat has been logged and is now used for palm oil farming. And this particular orangutan seems to be enjoying a little game of hide and seek with the crowd. And here you can see the family enjoying all the interactive activities around the orangutan enclosure.
Stay in there, you belong there.
So one of the tools that they make in the wild is something called a dipping stick, which basically looks a bit like a paintbrush or a toothbrush, and they basically break off a nice whip stick. They bite one end of it to make it a bit frayed, so it looks a bit like a paintbrush, and then they'll dip that into beehives to collect honey or into termite mounds to extract termites, and they also use it to eat one of their favourite fruits.
Now, then look at the tortoise.
And Joe's very happy to see some of her favourite animals at the zoo, which includes this Galapagos tortoise, which can weigh up to 320 kilos and is known to be the longest living animal on the earth, some being noticed to be 175 years old.
What you eating, fella?
This here is a Peruvian squirrel monkey. They like to eat vegetables mostly, and here at Perth Zoo they have several very good enclosures which are intertwined with caged pipes that the monkeys can traverse through, as you can see here.
What? What's he doing?
Wait. Noisy neighbour, because he's a noisy neighbour, that's what they call him.
The black and white ruffed lemurs are excellent communicators, with most of the group joining in one chorus to amplify calls. These little fellas are mostly found in Africa and Madagascar.
Yeah, he's climbing. He's balancing. Look at his tail. Looks like he's climbing up it like sideways.
There we go, he's just going to annoy his friend. Hello.
It's so hard for me to believe that these llamas are hunted for food. There's quite a few areas where this bamboo is growing around the zoo, and as you can see, many people have decided to leave their mark on them. These llamas are quite entertaining and very inquisitive. As you can see this one here checking out the camera. You can find yourself spending quite a bit of time watching these fellas.
Oh, did you see him? He ran. He ran across the road.
I was happy and surprised to see an enclosure with meerkats at the zoo here. These fellas originate from the African savannah.
Is this your favourite, Jane?
Yes.
Radiated tortoise from Madagascar. Joe just loves these animals.
How big is he, Jane?
Really big.
He's got a big horn.
Yeah.
There's a large variety of food vans here at the zoo. Hey, Joe. Chili beans, burgers, fish and chips. Pizza, hot dogs. Plenty to eat. You get something?
Yeah. What you buying, Bree?
This is our first time seeing a Komodo dragon, and what a fine specimen he is. They can go up to 3 metres long, weighing 70 kilos, and they're native to the islands of Indonesia. There is now only about 2,500 to 5,000 of these fellas left. I managed to simulate an earthquake on the swinging bridge in the Rainforest Walk. These painted African dogs may look pretty, but I wouldn't want to get too close.
Listening to me.
Pretty sure I wouldn't like to pat this spotted hyena either.
It's rainbow. You're gonna move back if it comes, obviously.
Perth Zoo has quite an impressive bird sanctuary. We were lucky enough to see this black-necked stork, which you would find in Australian wetlands. And it seems like this guy is quite the fisherman.
He's trying to soften it up.
Australia is also home to the second and third largest species of bird, including this emu and also this very prehistoric looking cassowary. And looking at his huge talons, I'm glad there's a fence between us. These fairy penguins capture everybody's hearts. You could just stand here for hours and watch them. And this Australian brolga stands out amongst the birds in the wetland area here. But there's plenty of birds in this wetland area, as you can see. But one that caught our hearts was this little blue-billed duck.
Oh, that's good.
Oh wow, it's lucky Brianna's strong. She stopped this rock from rolling down here and squashing her mum. It's just a baby freshwater. And a couple of big barramundi in this tank. You'd be pretty happy if you could get onto a couple that size. You can hear how excited people are to see the giraffe, especially with this elevated platform allowing you to interact with them face to face. Well, it's just not an Australian zoo without a white boomer. There's also these Papua New Guinea and Goodfellow tree kangaroos, which are very endangered at the present moment. And here at Perth Zoo, you get the opportunity to see some interesting reptiles as well, just like this skink.
The death adder.
Is that the venomous?
Oh, death adder.
Yeah, well, this one's pretty quick smart.
This will kill you.
That's why very scary. Oh my.
Holy moly.
Wow. What's that?
Massive.
Come
Your hand
here.
there, Joe?
Maybe to bring some and put inside in the belly.
Well, that brings us to the end of our day at Perth Zoo, and it's time to let the animals out. As you can see, we hope you've enjoyed our little show. There are plenty other animals at the Perth Zoo that we haven't shown you. It really is worth going there with the family for a day out. And so now we'll battle the traffic back to our accommodation. If you've liked our little film and you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see the upcoming episodes.